Hello and welcome to today's webinar on supporting database teaching and learning for principals. So today's webinar is for principals who can leverage the valuable data representing student engagement in Brightspace and guide teachers in supporting student success. So my name is Puneet Kaur and I'm the success coach with D2L. So my role is to partner with K-12 educators and principals to align with Brightspace technology with their educational goals and achieve student success. Before joining D2L, I worked as a curriculum analyst, educational researcher, and an elementary level educator. So some housekeeping items for today's webinar. So for today's session, the Q&A and chat are disabled. If you have any questions, please write to us at bridget.brogan@d2l.com. And the recording and slide deck for today's webinar will be available to you on the Teaching and Learning website for your reference. So the agenda for today's webinar, I'll begin with understanding some key terms and how you can use data to foster student learning. And I'll walk you through the class progress tool that you can use to monitor student performance and engagement, and thereby you can use it to achieve student success. And in the end, I'm going to roll out some great resources. These are the bite-sized videos and documentation on how you can use Brightspace. So understanding some terms, D2L means desire to learn. It's the name of the company. And we have this fantastic product by the name of Brightspace. Brightspace is the learning management system, and it can be easily used on a variety of devices like laptops and desktops, and the smaller devices like phones, iPhones, tablets, and iPads. And we have this amazing page by the name of Brightspace Community. So Brightspace Community is a hub of information related to Brightspace and D2L. And if you have an account within Brightspace Community, you can even ask questions, and some expert from D2L will get back to you and help you with your queries. So before I begin with today's webinar, I want to give a shout out to all the principals out there. You have been doing a commendable job in the day-to-day functioning of your schools, maintaining staff and student well-being. You are great when it comes to conducting the staff professional development and also helping students to achieve academic achievement. And not to forget the COVID. I'm sure that COVID has added a lot more tasks to your to-do list, but I believe that COVID or no COVID, our principal's work is always to stay on the toes and help their students to achieve success. With that being said, I also believe that principals love data, and you can actually, within Brightspace, you can enable teachers to achieve positive learning outcomes by tracking and analyzing the student data through the class progress and the user progress dashboards. Today, I'm going to share with you that how you can explore what data sets are available to you and your staff within Brightspace, and how this information can be used to inform the teaching practices and meet the needs of your students. So a very critical question, that how can I use the analytics for improving the student academic achievement? So within Brightspace, you have an access to a variety of data like the student login, student grades, content, the assignments, or any other activity within within that students have been using. So you can look into all the information through these data sets available to you, and you can identify the students who need some extra support, and you can create your action plan based on the students' needs. And also, just based on the engagement that students are liking within the course, you can determine the student's learning style on the basis of what activity student likes the most, or which specific lesson student interests the most. So on the basis of the learning style of each student, you can create a pathway meeting the individual needs of every student. And also based on the curriculum engagement or the content engagement for each student, you can identify any overall theme within your school or within a classroom, and that could be used to reflect on the curriculum or the teaching strategies that you have been using with your students, and you can tweak into your teaching strategies or curriculum for the years to come. And also, you can use the data through the class progress tool available to you, especially for high school students in determining the course choice they want to make in the grades to come. So based on their performance in the different subjects, or how they have been doing in a specific activity, or what grades they have been securing so far, you can advise them on what course choice they can make for the subsequent grades. And also, data-based learning has an immense value when it comes to teachers. So teachers can actually create their learning engagements with the students based on the data, which is, I would say, which is evidence-based and gives a lot of quantifiable information to teachers on which they can structure their pedagogies. So first and foremost, teachers save a lot of time on reviewing the key, filling up and then reviewing the key information related to each student, because the information gets fed into the class progress tool or the user progress tool. So teacher saves a lot of time, and this time could be actually used to listen to their students. And also, teachers can inform their teaching strategies based on the engagement pattern that they see from students, that which content is most popular, which activity didn't go very well. Based on all this data available to teachers, they can tweak into their teaching strategies. Also, since teachers have the access to the user progress and the class progress all the time, they do not have to wait for the term end or the year end to identify the areas of a student struggle. That these areas where student needs some extra support can be identified any point in time by looking into the class progress tool, and teachers can create an effective plan for the students who need some extra help. Also, through the class progress tool, teachers can identify the learning gaps. So at a very initial stage, if there is any learning gap that teachers can recognize, they can simply create a plan to mitigate those learning gaps, and eventually they can achieve the holistic academic achievement for their class. Also, the evidence-based conversation is always helpful with families about the student progress, so they can keep a print of the class progress handy with them, and then which could be very helpful to have a data-based or a quantifiable evidence in front of them to have a conversation with the families. So how principals can use class progress tools? So principals may find great value in the class progress tools in different ways. So first of all, principals can actually improve the overall school academic performance as they have the access to each class's progress. So by looking into the each class progress, the principals can find out any areas that need some action, and they can talk to teachers, and eventually they can achieve an academic success for their school. Principals can also look into the individual student progress and determine the areas of student strengths or the areas where student needs some extra support. Also, principals can use the class progress tool to structure the professional development opportunities for their teachers. They can impart teachers on how they can use data to inform their lessons and how they can create engaging learning platforms for their students. Also, because class progress tool saves a lot of time in duplicating the information related to a student that you must be filling in your records. So you save a lot of time there. So it also mitigates a scope of error and redundancy that comes up with the student data collection. So of course, like this saves you a lot of time on other important tasks that are lying in your to-do list. Also, based on the engagement, again, as I said before, that what's going well with students, you can identify what is something that is really of interest of students, and they are actually learning well with some specific resource that you're providing to your students. So you can determine those successful resources or strategies amongst your students, and you can use them to make any critical partnership with educational external educational communities that you may want to. Okay, so this is the class progress tool. So this is how your class progress tool looks to you. On the left side, you're seeing the name of the students. And on the right side is are the indicators. And you can see the progress summary of each student with the trend line that you're seeing with the color indicators against each student. Also, you have the option to change or tweak into the indicators that you are seeing over here. I'm going to get into the details of the class progress tool soon. Before that, I would also like to show you a quick view on how the settings view of class progress tool looks like. So as I said that you can change the indicators as per your preference. So I'm just going to show you in detail that how it looks like. Just give me a moment as I get into my Brightspace learning environment. And there you go. All right, so right now I'm in my Brightspace learning environment. And this is the class progress tool, which lives in the navbar. In case you want to remove the class progress tool from the navbar, this could be even accessed from the course admin tool. So I'm just going to click on course admin tool. And here you see that the class progress tool is living over here. So as I click on the class progress tool, you can see that each student's name is reflecting here, and against each student's name, the different indicators are being shown here, and they are showing the progress summary for the student against those indicators. So I'm just going to show you how the settings in the class progress tool looks like. So as I go into the settings, you can see the indicators are you can see the indicators here, and through the downward facing arrow, you can change the sequence of the indicators as per your own preference. You can even replace this indicator with any other indicator that you may want to see. So I would like to say that these indicators, they change according to the preference to what you want to see at a given time, or depending upon the time of the year. So few things need to be seen. For example, the content engagement needs to be seen in the beginning, and towards the end you would like to see more that how many what were the grades of the students, and also in between a learning session you would also like to see if there is any pending assignment with the student, or how the student has been performing in different assignment. So based on your own needs, you can change the sequence, or even you can change what indicators you want to see against a student's name in the class progress tool. So also, if you hover the mouse on the class progress, these performance indicator, you can see the detail of the trend line, that what does it exactly mean over here. You can also find out if you have, like, if there is a larger list of students and you're looking for an individual student, you can simply type in the name of the student in the search box, and you can find out any individual student that you must be looking for. And from here, you can filter the user view for yourself. So if you have some groups divided within the class, or if there are sections within the class, and you are looking for a specific section or a group, you can filter the view according to that, and you can have a look at the class progress tool. So you can see over here that within the class progress tool, you can easily look at the student's name, the student's username, and the organization assigned ID to the student. And these are the indicators against which you can see the performance summary for each student. And as you just cover the mouse over here, you can see that what exactly this performance indicator that has been shown over here, what exactly does that mean? So you also are able to see a quick summary from here. So based on what you see in your class progress view, you get a fair idea of how the students are performing, and you can even identify some major themes based on students' overall performance within a class. And if you find any red flags within the class related to some performance, you can use this fantastic feature over here, which says use agents to automatic feedback. These are actually the intelligent agents. So these intelligent agents, they are an automated email notification feature that help the instructors and or the principals to send an automated emails to students if they see some event, like if there is a lack of login or there is an alarming low number of course entry, or if you see that students are not doing any specific activity up to the mark, or if they're falling behind in their grades, or you can even set up the intelligent agents for students who are performing well. For example, if there is a successful completion of an activity, or the students who have been completing all the course content or the lessons or activities within time. So you can set up the intelligent agents for those students. So basically, intelligent agents can be used for a great number of reasons, and you can actually use them for many different purposes. Also, you can run a report for the intelligent agent, and you can even have a sneak at what data is saying, and you can take a relevant action based on the data that gets available to you through the intelligent agent. So this is the class progress tool. And if you want to look into an individual student's performance, you need to click on that specific student's name. So if I click on student Sammy, it takes me to the user progress of the specific student. You can see that as I clicked on the name of the student, I can quickly have a look at the progress summary for that specific student. You have the option to print this progress summary for the student as well. And if you go into the settings, you have the option to select which indicators you want to see for that student. So again, as I said before, that these indicators may vary according to the time of the year or what you are looking at. So you can simply uncheck the boxes for the indicators that you do not want to see for a student at a given time. And here you have the advanced progress report settings for students. For example, you can check this box in case you want to see the class grade distribution for the graded items, or you can check this box for if you want to see the final grade range as a minimum and maximum final grade. And these are the color indicators here. So you can set up the threshold percentage for a specific color indicator. These could depend upon the school level policies or the practices that you're following. So you can change the threshold percentage over here, and accordingly, the progress summary or the trend line will vary against each student's name. So from here, you can easily navigate between the students within a class. So for example, I'm done with the Sami student and I want to move on to the next student. You can simply click this arrow and then you can move on to the next student from here. And that's how you can flip between the students when you're looking at the progress summary. Also, if you're wanting to look into a detailed summary of each performance indicator, so you can either simply click it over here, and it takes you into the detailed description of that specific indicator. For example, for the grades progress, you can see that the student's final calculated grade can be seen, and you can also look at the summary of all the graded items for that specific student, and you can even have a quick look at what feedback was given and how much that student was graded for that specific assignment. So another indicator is the expectations. So through the expectations indicator, you can, this is very helpful for the standard-based learning or the learning expectation or learning outcomes-based learning for your students. So you can, if you have attached one specific expectation to any assignment, so you can view from here that if it was assessed, so whether student was able to achieve that specific expectation or not. From here, you can see how much content completion has been done. If there is any lesson or content which student has not completed at all, so you can take a relevant action based on the report that you get from here. If your class is following any discussion, you can check out that which topic student was actively involved with, where student refrained from posting any comment in the discussions. So you can look into this data as well. The assignments, which all assignments student has completed, any awaited grade, or if there is any late submission. So if there is a constant late submissions from the student, you can take some action. You can set up an intelligent agent, or if there is a student who has been doing really well all the time, you can even send a congratulatory email to those students through intelligent agents. So again, in the similar fashion, you can look into the how the student has been performing in the quizzes, or if there is, you have set up a checklist to keep students on the track in their learning journey. So you can look into the checklist progress, that how much student has completed and how much is pending. This is more for the higher grade students. So if there is a survey, have they completed the survey? Which survey is pending? So if there is some important survey that needs to be done from students' end, you can very much give the feedback and you can get it completed. And also you can look into the login history of the student. It's a very great it's a great way to find out that which date, how many sessions the student logged in. So this can show you that, oh, the student has not been logging in enough time, not spending enough time. So this helps you to have a meaningful conversation with students and the families on if you find any red flags with students' performance or student engagement. So another great feature about the class progress tool is that for every information, you do not have to really wait for a teacher to produce any information for you. You can have a look at the information at your own time and discretion. And this is very much about the class and user progress tool. So these are the resources I was talking about in the beginning. These are some amazing videos and documentations. I highly recommend you to watch them. They will enhance your usage of Brightspace. Also, we have this fantastic Brightspace guided training. You can access the Brightspace guided training through the Brightspace community page. So these are the self-guided content and also the instructor guided training webinars. So please feel free to register and even look at the calendar of what they're offering next. And I'm sure you'll find something that is helpful to you. I greatly appreciate your time and patience today. Have a great night and thank you.